So, this is just a basic timeline on the history of alcoholism and how people started to change their minds from thinking that it was just a social thing into something more of a scientific disease as we perceive it now. Before the 1800s, people thought overdrinking was normal. The church thought it might be immoral, but it was never considered something that was a medical issue or uncontrollable. They just thought it was bad judgment on part of whoever was drinking. In the late 1700s, we get the first records that consider drunkenness as a disease or addiction, so something where the person cannot control themselves, there's a lack of will involved, and that led right into the temperance movement, which is when medical professionals started studying alcoholism a little more carefully and thinking of alcohol itself as an inherently addictive drug. This led into the creation of sober houses. So, early on in the temperance movement, there was definitely a reformist approach. So, people wanting to take action to help people actively help people wean themselves off alcohol and treat themselves. But eventually, this movement stopped, and people decided to take a harsher approach and started advocating for the Prohibition era, which just outlawed alcohol selling entirely. And this didn't last very long. After the Prohibition era ended, we actually get the resurgence of people trying to take action in terms of coming together in community and uh, becoming free from alcoholism. And so we get Alcoholics Anonymous, established in 1935, which is still around today and very recognizable. And in the middle of the century, we get a lot of psychological studies, actually, of psychologists and doctors, once again returning to the study of alcoholism in a more clerical way and figuring out how the study of what happens to the body through addiction can help with treatment options. So I'm running out of time now, but really quick, I just wanted to refer to this timeline that I also created. This is just a overview of the history of Native Americans in America and the kind of things they've had to deal with on a broad cultural level. Research at the moment is trying to figure out how the stress from these past events might be affecting um, people's susceptibility to addictions like alcoholism, and also how understanding this cultural history is really important for creating treatment plans moving forward, and kinds of medicinal traditions that Native Americans are used to will be more comfortable and thus more effective.